So I'm back home from the gym, and I guess I wanted to do an update on the testosterone boosters and how I'm feeling and all that stuff. So it's been 3 weeks since I started taking them, and so far, so good. So the testosterone boosters that I'm taking are high T. They're designed for men. They are the caffeine free because caffeine does not do well with Finn. And what else? They are not the black ones. It's not high tea black. It's just regular old high tea. I got that because the women's one, it seems like I couldn't find one that was caffeine free, and they are more expensive than the men's. So I decided, like, fuck that. And I take them almost every day. Like, I'll skip maybe a day or two within the week. And so the first week was phenomenal. It was amazing. I can't even explain like how much energy I had. Like, I was insane that week. I would go to bed at 2 or 3 in the morning and then wake up at 8, even sometimes like 7. And I would feel so full of energy and ready to like do whatever that day. That has kind of dwindled a bit. So I'll go to sleep. I go to sleep earlier now, around 1 at the latest. I try to get in bed by, 11 and sleeping by 1. And so I'm getting to bed earlier and waking up around 8, 9, sometimes 10. Excuse me. On average, maybe 9:30. And so my sleep has kind of dwindled off, and I still feel rested, but not as rested as I did before during that first week. My stamina is still pretty high. My stamina has been pretty much the same throughout the whole endeavor. And so I just am able to work out continuously for longer periods of time than I was before. And this is with the anemia in mind. And I stopped taking the iron supplements because they were making using the bathroom just fucking awful. And so I stopped taking them. And so it seems like the high T is helpful in helping me to get oxygen around my body. So that's a-okay. Sex drive hasn't really done anything to my sex drive. Yeah, it hasn't really done, like, actually anything to my sex drive, which is, that's not really the reason I started taking it, so it doesn't bother me at all. But I guess for people who want to enhance their sex drive, for me, it didn't do anything. So keep that in mind. What else does it do? Inflammation. And so I looked up the plant that is the main ingredient of high tea. It's called fenugreek, and it is helpful for inflammation. And I have an autoimmune disorder. And so this autoimmune disorder is characterized by getting boils in various parts of my body. I've talked about it already, but I've noticed that I have a good pit and I have a bad pit. Sometimes I get boils in my good pit. I always have boils in my bad pit, like continuously. Bad pit has actually been pretty good. I actually had a boil in my good pit for a little bit, and that started to dwindle as soon as I started taking the testosterone booster. So with inflammation, it is helpful, and it brings down just breakouts, like facial breakouts. Like, my face has cleared up a good amount since I started taking it. I get some pimples here and there, but overall, my face has cleared up a good amount. And that's probably helped by, not only my diet, but also when I go to the gym, I stay in the steam room for a good amount of time. I just find that the steam room is really, really relaxing for me, and also helps with my skin. So opening up my pores so I can get all that gunk out. So yeah, that's always helpful for me. So I said stamina. What else? Sex drive, inflammation, and sleep. So those are the things that high tea is professed to improve, and 3 out of 4, that's pretty good. Is it 4? Stamina, sex drive. sleep, inflammation. Oh, also energy. I completely forgot energy. My energy levels have been wavery, and I think that's partially because I am depressed like all the fucking time, but also from the testosterone booster. So I'll have days where I am, I have full of energy the entire day. I have days where I need to take a nap in the middle of the day, and then I have days where it's the usual. I wake up, don't have particularly high amount of energy, but I go throughout the day, and around 7 to 8, I am bouncing off the fucking walls. So that's how it usually is for me. I usually wake up metaphorically, around 6 in the afternoon. But with the testosterone boosters, it's variable. It's incredibly variable. So it's changed how my energy levels are, not necessarily for the better, not necessarily for the worse. So that too. So yeah, that is my update on high tea. I still have another week on it. I may or may not re-up. We'll see if by the end how I feel. I haven't seen any change in my weight, and I've always had major issues losing weight. It's just not good for me. And so I wasn't expecting a whole lot in the weight department. I have had a few people notice that it looks like I lost weight, and so I guess that could be attributed to losing inches rather than pounds, like toning up and all that stuff. And so my weight hasn't budged at fucking all. It hasn't gone anywhere. In fact, it's gone up. But my body in general looks better than it did 3 weeks ago. So there's that too. But yeah, that's my update. Paces.